Hi, welcome back, my wonderful friends, family, people up to something. You are the Calvary. It's the Maturity Project. I'm your host, Chad Upper Brochures. Today I plan to make a somewhat short video, but just more of, it's just an action-based video. It's like Theo Von is he's somebody I've referenced in several videos prior. He's a kind of a comedian. I guess he is a comedian, but he's also very insightful. He's an incredibly intelligent person. I love how he communicates with people because he disarms with humor and then brings in something that really makes you think beyond just like what makes you think inside of a comical kind of perspective, right? Because we can frame thinking in such a way, and highly tactful people, whenever they're in real high levels of leadership that are incredibly tactful again, they have a way of delivering information and getting results, even when that information could just absolutely cripple a person with just doubt, fear, or whatever it might be, or just an overwhelming sense of impending doom because they don't think they can accomplish something. They have just a way of delivering that information. It's absolutely remarkable. So it's a conversation. You preface exactly what kind of conversation you want to have, but you do it in a way that disarms the person's defenses that causes rejection in communication, or the rejection in their mind about what is possible, and then ushers in a package of information that gets people updated on what needs to be done without having them feel overwhelmed completely. So anyway, it's just fascinating. When you watch Theo Von, you'll see some of that. It's just in the way he does it. It's absolutely, it's masterful how he communicates. And I don't know if he knows he's doing it on purpose. I think it's more of just what he's figured out in his life. But anyway, point of it is like, nothing changes if nothing changes. It's where I first heard it was from him. I don't believe he's the originator of it, but that's where I associate origin for me. Nothing changes if nothing changes. The simplest things that you do can make the biggest changes in your life. It's just put in the work, and the work can be something simple. It could be read 2 pages of a book that you've been intending to read before bed, or first thing in the morning, or whatever. Pick a time that you know that you can devote to it that's just going to be a mild inconvenience for you. It won't be an inconvenience for too long. You'll strengthen that habit. At first, it's kind of and you may need to set reminders to do it, because you have to break a pattern, a habit. It takes more than 21 days to make or break a habit. I know there's a book written about it. There are people that went on and lectured about it like crazy. That's the set point where you get an opportunity to really change a habit, but that's not how you make or break a habit. It takes more than that. There's strategy, there's structure. For people that are not well equipped, but they have somebody that is equipped with making the changes that they want to make, then that goes into scaffolding. I'm regularly reminded of how beautiful this life really is, in the sense that we can create anything. The problem is what we do is we set off with an idea about how it is supposed to go before you have experience in doing it. You have somebody else's actions or outcomes or something that's similar to what they've done, whichever one it is, or any of those, or any other variation. You don't have the real life experience of doing it. You could have been like, well, my father did this, or my mother did this, or my uncle, or some relative, or somebody that was friends with my family. And I know them very well, so it must have, and if they're able to do it, I can do it. You don't know every second by second that the person went through, so you can't really hypothesize with accuracy what it's like to go through every single step to be successful. Now, this isn't a knock on anybody at all. The beautiful thing about it is you have the capacity to make significant change. You just need to know how to do it. So, and learning how to do it is not that challenging by comparison. It's first off, just say you want to go a direction, and then you just start taking baby steps. So again, it could be something as simple as, 1 page or 2 pages of a book at night. I don't care if you got to start off with a coloring book. I don't give a shit. Start somewhere. Do something like that. I've realized that I put this principle back into play because my life gets pretty busy, and I understand it. Believe me, I get it. Life happens. You got all kinds of things that you need to, try to break the pattern on, or to break the confusion or distractions from your day to day. Like, I got to pay my bills. I've got problems in my marriage or my relationship. My kids are having their challenges. I don't know what I'm going to do with my mortgage. I feel like I'm stuck in a dead end job. It's like all of these different things that are just, all it is just reminding you that, yeah, you really should take some action to develop into this next phase. Now, the Maturity Project is coming up with things for you. So rest assured, these things are coming. It's just a matter of putting together the right formula and then getting the right people involved. I can take all 8 areas from the beginning foundation level to degrees of functionality, and some greater than others in the different areas, of the 8 different areas, on my own, and just do it in my own life. I've already been doing it. In other people's lives, I've been doing that as well. And then there's going to be the mid-level and high level of what each one of those categories have when it comes to mentorship, support, and experience. So that's all coming, because this is for humanity. And it's absolutely something that others have the heart to do this with me. And they're coming along. You build it, fill the dreams, right? You build it, they will come. I don't know what your future is going to look like. I do know, though, that what it's going to take to get where you want to be will surprise you. In some instances, it will be a lot easier than you think it is. And then in other instances, it's going to be harder than you thought it is. And there's going to be plenty of times in the process where you're not going to be able to identify what you have accomplished so far, because you're going to be really in the moment of what you're doing. So there's all kinds of things. The best way to deal with all of this is to just get into action. If you want to get better at work and you're in sales, get some books on sales. Spend your time. If you find if I were to do an audit with you on your daily behaviors to look for areas you can implement behaviors for change, I promise you we can come up with something. That's what I do with my clients. We can come up with something. It's a fairly simple process. The first thing that I prefer to do is first establish, what the hell do you want to accomplish? What are your goals? What does it look like? If you had to tell me, you'd have to actually commission me to paint the painting for you. But I'm going to need you to tell me how that painting is supposed to look. You got to start telling me what it looks like. So if you don't know, we're going to create that vision together. We're going to look at it and say, you know what, let's talk about this. Let's talk it out. Help me envision it in my mind, and I'm going to speak that back out to you. We're creating a reality. I'm going to speak it back out to you, and you can confirm or you can change it. Whatever it is, help me come up with exactly what your future looks like by what you want it to be. If you were your own creator for that future, because you actually are your own creator for that future, tell me what to do, and I'll help you create that image. And then from there, we can look at what are your current behaviors and what exactly is it going to take to start moving in that direction. This is a game of patience, because you haven't accomplished it yet for a reason. If you were to accomplish it tomorrow, it could demotivate you and turn you off completely for your goal if you were to have your goal tomorrow. It can easily do that, and a lot of the times it actually is that when you do get to that point, right? If you're like, hey, I want all of this money. Again, I'll use the lottery as an example. Somebody's a big time lottery winner, right? 40 million or above, right? Or let's say 7 million or above, whatever, it doesn't matter. You just got an enormous amount of money you're just not familiar with. You're not used to it. You have, for your entire life, you've been looking for that kind of financial freedom. And then all of a sudden you get it. But what you don't know is what kind of stress you're going to go through just simply because you don't have the day in and day out of the grind of what's necessary in order to pay your bills, because that will now be satisfied. Now you're going to have to deal with what happens when you don't have to be at work. That's actually going to have stress-related values with you. Right now, you're probably like, yeah, no, that's easy, man. Fantastic. I'll be on vacation the rest of my life. Guarantee you will not look at it that way. You get into it, you may last 2 weeks, it might be a month. Oh, hell, if you're really resilient, it may last you a year. I highly doubt it, though. Every single person that I know that has sold a business that had made multiple millions of dollars off of that business being sold, they don't need to work again. Their family could live off that money because all you have to do is make some pretty decent diversified investments and you're going to be in a good spot. Because you can live off of the return on that, off of the money that's invested. There's all kinds of things, but like every single one of the people, not the majority, every single one of them that I know got restless. The one that lasted the longest was 1 year. He owned the gym that I worked a while back. He owned the gym that I worked at, and he begged his wife. First, he said, "Honey, I think I'm going to get back to work, and I think I'm going to buy a gym." She says, "You don't know anything about running a gym. I don't think it's a good idea." He begged his wife to let him get out of retirement because he was so mind-numbingly bored. He bought an Audi R8, which is that's the Audi supercar. Beautiful vehicle, incredibly fast. It's a fantastic supercar. It's a fun car. I used to work for Audi for a short period of time, and I can tell you right now, it's an amazing piece of equipment. Now, he had one of those, nearly killed himself. Because he's like, I don't know. He was starting to really feel the challenge of not having to work, not having to be responsible for anything when it comes to providing for the family. That was all taken care of. What did he do with his days? All of that. Vacations, they traveled all over the place. They had amazing vacations. And he got bored of them. He traveled everywhere he wanted to go. Spent as much time as he wanted to. And he got bored. He got painfully bored. So you win the lottery. That's just the fact you don't need to work. Now deal with the fact that you have people that have been in your life that are going to create a stress in your life now because you have access to something that could potentially make their life better. And there's a really strange thing that people do. And that's where they feel that you owe them something because you've been friends. If they have a business venture, you're the first person they're going to talk to. And if you don't loan them the money, it's going to feel like an insult that you're unwilling to give them money. So if you loan them money, it's going to be an insult if you ask for it to be paid back. So now, is this 100% of the time? No. Some people have integrity that will not be compromised, even in hardship. So it's just this real interesting thing that takes place. Now add in all of those factors and then add more, because I'm sure there's going to be more, right? You'll also have your own coping mechanisms. What if you drank when you're off work because you just kind of, but you're actually held back. You're not quite an alcoholic, right? But it's just something you do, and it's like, whatever, it fills in the void. Next thing you know, now you're no longer teetering on being an alcoholic. You actually are, you're just not aware of it. There's all kinds of things that you're just not aware of that can come out of the fact that you no longer need to worry about working. So it's fascinating what happens to us. Now, I'm not saying don't become wealthy. Do it. Do it. Get after it. That's one of your goals, which is a lot of people's goals, is to become wealthy, because they believe and they fantasize for a long period of time, fantasize what it's like to be in a different place financially, to not have to worry about money. It's a great fantasy to have. You spend days, you can spend most of your day daydreaming about it for days on end, because it's better than having to deal with somebody who tells you have to do something you don't want to do, and you'd rather have that kind of like F you money, right? I'd rather tell people to F off. I'd rather have that kind of money. Well, yeah, there's definitely people that are in that boat, but there's just, you just don't know what's on the other side. The thing that I'm really wanting to put into place here is just do something. Do a small thing. Step forward. Again, if it's you want a better relationship, well, hell, I am producing a workbook that is, and it doesn't have its full name yet. I'm just calling it as a placekeeper title right now. It's a relationship workbook and how to create from superficial to a power couple. It's not it's not there yet, but it's about, because the most common gripe that I see on social media, the most common gripe that I see is people complaining that they can't find a good relationship, or they're just looking for that right partner. Once they find that right partner, they're going to be able to just change their life. I saw one earlier today. I wish I could find a partner. Like, I wish I could find a guy that has real financial security so he could teach me how to be financially secure. And I'm like, she's starting to get it. She's starting to get it. This is great. But then I'm like, why the hell aren't you just out learning? What books are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you watching if you watch any of the videos and stuff? When you're on social media, where are you going? But hey, it's a minor victory because she's looking for growth. And I'm like, that's good. That's good. That's a great start. But don't wait for the cavalry to show up. You're the cavalry. You're it. Don't wait for it. So anyway, I'm like, okay, all right. Taking this approach, you can, again, with the relationship book, it's How to Become a Power Couple. It's, there's a series of questions that you ask and that you have to do for yourself in order to understand exactly where you are and what you want to accomplish and how to take care of yourself, so you don't put an emotional resource or any kind of resource debt on the person that you're in a relationship with. Because it sucks to get into a relationship with somebody and all of a sudden you find out you got a debt, you got to pay them. It's really interesting. But anyway, create clarity. What kind of things are you going to do for yourself in order to feel like you're caring for you? That you're taking care of you, so that you also know where your boundaries need to be, so you do not sacrifice those things without understanding you're doing it. Because if you don't understand you're doing it, you sacrifice it, there's a really good chance you're going to hold that against them. So this thing is intended to get clarity for you. Let's get you clear about some stuff. What do you need to do to take care of yourself before you even get to find out what they need to do to take care of themselves, right? It's, to me, the most rewarding relationships I've ever been in are the relationships where somebody is up to something. People are actively working on something to make their life different. They're on the pursuit, in the pursuit of a goal. That stuff, incredibly attractive to me. And it's fun. Because it's not just playing like a kid in the sandbox when you're 8 years old and playing with your match cards and all of this. This is a whole nother level of play. This is, I did this in business today and I got a pretty decent result out of it. Try it. Here, I'll show you everything that I did. I'll work with you with it. I'll walk through it with you. I got you. I'll support you. I'll scaffold you in this. That, oh my God. Even if that relationship doesn't work out, you will forever care about that person. Because that person did something significant for you. They gave you a new skill. You develop skills together. That's awesome. But you got to understand where the hell you are now in order to be able to create such a thing. So if you want this, just take baby steps. You will know if you take a little spoonful at a time, just a little bit at a time, just a little. Every little bit you take in, you'll realize how much your tolerance level is. It might be the right amount. You might need to back it off a little bit. Or you might actually get 2 teaspoons. Or maybe you'll move it up to a tablespoon. Now, it's just, you're going to learn more. Do something with it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this out there, right? This is not a perfection product yet. This is a product that is perfect as it is because it is where it is, right? This is the accumulation of every decision I've ever made, all the failures I've ever had, all the victories, the time that I spent going on the wrong path or going down a path that is not this, right? This is the accumulation of all of that. And you're seeing it in my, I am now completely dedicated to this. That's what you're seeing now in this process. So it is not a finished perfect product. Though this is the creation of that. So if you're watching this video, you were a part of the beginning of this. Now, this is not its beginning. This is its beginning in being pushed out into the world with this level of effort. I am dedicated to helping others in such a way that their life becomes what they want it to be, but they are the ones who do it. I will not do it for them. And I don't encourage you to do it for them either. Changing your life is like quitting cigarettes, quitting smoking. I used to smoke, by the way, for 6 years. Back in my much, it's like a lifetime ago. It's been well over 20 years. Now, I used to smoke for 6 years. I don't anymore. But what it took was I had to make the decision to quit. You cannot want somebody to quit for you. You have to be the one that makes the decision. The same thing. If you want somebody to quit smoking, you cannot make the decision for them. You can buy them the gum to chew. You can get them an appointment at a doctor that might be able to give them a prescription. You can give them any degree of support that you want to do, but you cannot make them quit smoking. That is a decision they have to make. The same thing goes with pursuing life's goals. You cannot do it for them. They won't value it the same, and it will drain you, and your debt that you'll have to them, even if it's done from love, you'll still have a debt that you want them to do it the right way so they can keep it. And God forsake, and God forbid that anything ever happens to you. There's a lot of reasons why you're going to have a debt that you hold on that person, because you're going to want to know that they're going to be able to do it when you're not there. It's not just, I did this for you, the manipulative thing. It's also the, I gave you a gift and please, please, please keep it. You got to use this gift right. It hurts people on average, and more often than not, to do it for other people. Do it for yourself and be the inspiration for another to do it. Give them the options and the guidance, the insights, and at the most, scaffold in with them, which is you support them in the process, but you make them do the process. And then you slowly start removing yourself, or you remove yourself at the speed that is the safest, that they can continue to maintain that and take it over. Because once you've completely removed yourself, the goal is get completely removed. And then from there, they now have that area covered. They can do it themselves. And then they'll have the direct recognition of, if they start failing in that area, they will know that they're failing in that area, and they'll know what to do to fix it, because they were with you when you did it with them the first time. It will give you a different degree of satisfaction than doing it for them. Just like giving it to people. Think about the inheritance that people get. How many people truly are incredibly happy and not squabbling and being just ugly when it comes to the death of a family member, where they're just like, this is what they left me in the will. And they're completely, like, they're so satisfied, or that they're incredibly honored. They're like, you know what, you gave me too much, whatever it is, but the gratitude is there, and they're using it. Like somebody who inherits a bunch of money. Well, inheriting a bunch of money is very similar to winning the lottery, except you didn't play a lottery for it. So it was a family member that left it to you, but still, its origin is still not of the person's origin. They just may feel entitled to it because they have a bloodline, or that they have some sort of commitment from the person that had it prior to their passing. So plenty of people don't take that for, they don't give it the real gratitude necessary to appreciate the fact that somebody did it, and that they can't do it themselves either. You adjust their lifestyle so that they're now at a higher degree, like a different lifestyle, where they've got the nicer car, the house, or they've spent the money in some place, or they didn't have the knowledge or the maturity level in finance to understand how to invest properly, and they invested in something that was a horrible idea, and it was like, from the surface, and somebody who doesn't know much, it looked great, but because they didn't know much, they didn't know how to find out if it was actually a good idea. Somebody talked them into it. Somebody squandered them out of the money. There's a lot of things that happen that leave people miserable because they did not have the value systems or the knowledge level necessary to create that. So how you get to that point is you just take these steps, man. It's little steps. I can't tell you exactly how to do it. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what your acumen is in business to be able to make money. I don't know what your financial understandings are in order to make sure you're investing properly. I don't know any of that stuff. I can't know that. I don't know you directly. So I just know that you watch the videos. If you watch it, that's it. So it's a teaspoon at a time, a little bit, just a little bit, man. It will change your life. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking on what I can. I'm not like, I tried going too heavy in the beginning, way back whenever this first came up. And I got to tell you, man, I just wasn't ready for it. And then I got to the point I was taking too little. It was an itty bitty teaspoon, and I was ready for a shovel. Get a shovel going, baby, let's go. Not a backhoe, just a shovel, a little manpower there. I can do that. I don't need no machine to do the dirt moving for me. It's just little things at a time. makes a big difference. And then you learn your threshold, you learn your tolerance levels, and you can adjust. It doesn't need to stay fixed there. All right. Anyway, look, and it's your life. Let's go. Let's do something with it, shall we? Please. Let's do it together. You know, let's make this life something remarkable. So anyway, all right. Well, until next time, I am your host, Chad Everett Broshears. It's a Maturity Project. Remember, I love you. Let's get up to something. Let's get up to it together. Okay? Share this video with someone in your life you want to make a real impactful conversation with. You want to make a difference with, a meaningful conversation. Share this with them. Okay? Start a conversation that means something to you and to that person. Change a life. One little bit at a time, man, your life will really open up. All right. Path to hell is paved with good intentions. Let's not make any more paths there. We are here to stop that path to hell, man. You know, the Maturity Project's here to help prevent or reduce how many decisions that lead us down the wrong path. It's to just give us better insights. So, all right, until next time, man, let's get after it. Let's do this together. You know, we grow through what we go through here. Right? That's what I want for you too. All right, until next time, let's do it. Let's get up to something together. See ya.